You pick up what I am saying, but what is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Just a moment. Today I wanted to talk about a discussion I was having with somebody who commented on my last video, and the last video I made was about, starting investing and saving and being able to save for the future so that you don't actually have to work so long and so hard into your elder years. And so basically it was, I think his name's White Bread Thunder, and then he has some digits after it. But anyways, on the video, he essentially responded with saying it was a good talk about the video, and then he brought up instead of investing, or he brought up an alternative to investing, which was, and he's up in Alaska too, so this is dependent upon that market. Obviously, I'm not up there, but he brought up, well, you can also work the summer side gig job where essentially in trucking, where essentially you're getting paid $81 an hour for the Port of Nome. So really middle of nowhere, at least to my knowledge, if my geographical memory serves me well. The Nome, Alaska it's up there, but and so you could essentially make $81 an hour. And he was saying that guys who did it last summer for the Port of Nome made like $120,000 in 3 months. Great money, right? Great money. And I don't disagree. That's certainly a better side gig. But my question back to him was, well, what happens when you get too old to be able to work 70 plus hours a week? Because to be able to make that much money in that short amount of time, you're working 70 hours a week minimum. And I think up there, him and who's the other Alaska guy? I think it was Hector, were telling me they can drive for 15 hours and be on duty for 20 or something crazy like that in Alaska. And so to me, just working more versus investing, it only does you well when you can actually, work. If you got into the age, especially if you're over 50, do you really want to work 70-hour weeks on a constant, regular basis until you die? And that sort of solution, that sort of, and I don't know the mindset specifically, but what he was implying there and what I wanted to talk about was, just work harder, bro. You don't need to invest. You don't need to save money. Just work harder. And I think he specifically said, just my solution is don't be poor, which fair enough. Yeah, don't be poor. Work hard. Definitely not against that here. How's it going, Liam? Yeah, how's it going, Liam? But to me, it just presents more problems because, again, there's going to come a point in your life where you're not able to work. That's just how it is. And I brought that up to him, and I said, well, what happens when you're too old to work 70-hour weeks anymore? And his response to me was, nobody in this industry lives long enough to actually care about the future, or something to that effect, which I can't disagree in the practical sense, because the average lifespan of a truck driver is something like, it's well below the average of everybody else, but here's the problem with that. You have that choice to actually prioritize your health and, keep your diet in check and actually work out despite the long hours. I've done it. So it can be done. It's just a matter of, are you actually going to make that choice or not to be able to actually live a better life long term and also have your health in your later years. So let's see here. Master, yo, what's up? Alexa says, hi, how's it going? So at the end of the day, because it boils down to two things. You're either an agent or you're an object. You either have agency to be able to make the choice of, okay, I'm going to, despite how difficult and tedious and annoying it is, to be able to restrict my diet, get good sleep, work out, I'm going to make that choice because it is similar to normal investing. it is going to pay dividends in the future, or saving for that matter, even just saving, it is going to pay dividends in the future because you're actually going to be able to enjoy your life far more than you would if you didn't actually ever make that investment of prioritizing your health, or putting in that sacrifice and work. Because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody wants to. I'd be curious how old he is, because that's definitely that's that mentality of just work more, bro. You just stop being poor and work until you're dead. That's definitely a sentiment I've heard before. That this is not the first time that I've had it. Oh, thank you, Cash. Daniel, I subbed. Thank you, appreciate it. Hi, I'm in a hospital. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully you're doing all right. Hopefully you're doing all right. What are you in the hospital for there, Daniel? Alexa, what are we talking about? Oh, just the older drivers of this trucking industry. They just having the mentality of just work until you die, work harder, and forget about investing, just work a side gig and work until you can't work no more. Which is funny, because it's like, okay, yeah, that's a lot of great money, right? $120,000 in 3 months working crazy hours. Yeah, that's obviously good money. But my question would be back, like, okay, so you spent all these years working your butt off, putting aside everything else just to get the bag, just to get the money. How are you going to be able to enjoy that money? Like, what is the point of working that hard for that long when you could end up dying, shortly after, or while you're still working? Because if you don't have any sort of balance, if you don't actually take time off, what's the point of working for all that money? Like, okay, yeah, you have the money, but when you're working 70 plus 80 hours a week, you literally do not have the time to enjoy that money. You just don't. Like, unless you're getting like 2 hours a night of sleep, which I definitely don't recommend, you can't have any time to enjoy that money that you made. So what's the point? Let's see here. Sobs, give us a 360. All right. Well, I'm just sitting here in front of the shop, waiting on a tire, replacement. But yeah, I'm just sitting here in the shop, or in front of the shop. I've got like 3 hours to go before they can actually replace it. So we'll see. And you know what? If I'm just going to have to sit here for 3 hours, I might as well just do something productive and talk about something with you guys. I was planning on doing this live Monday or Tuesday morning, but since I'm sitting here anyways, I might as well just do a live and just talk about something. But let's see here. Pedro, what job do I do for work? I'm a fuel hauler for Gemini, or Loves. You can probably see it right behind me. Oh wait, no, placard's on the other side. There we go. So I haul gasoline and diesel for Loves. But right now I'm just sitting at the shop waiting for them to change a tire, because I got 2 people in front of me and might as well do something useful with my time. Let's see, Alexa. Yeah, that's not the way. Definitely not. Thank you, because I don't think so either. Like, again, people can do whatever they want. It's their life. I don't really care. At the end of the day, they can live, if they want to work until they drop, that's their choice, and that's part of being an agent versus an object, where if you're an object, you don't have any sentience and you can't make the conscious decision. But at the end of the day, we're all still agents. At least I like to think so. We're all, unless you're in a coma, then you're not so much an agent anymore, because you don't have that sentience to be able to make that decision. But aside from the exceptions to the rule, you can still make that choice, and whatever choice you make, it is what it is, but you just have to deal with the consequences of that. I just don't I don't see the particular value of working until you die. Just me though. Like, you have to have some sort of balance, time off, spend time with friends, family, you know. If you're smart with your money, you save some, you can go on vacation, you know. So it is what it is. And then if you're really smart with your money, you've saved enough to be able to actually retire and not have to work those long hours anymore. Or even if you just want to work a part-time job that you actually like for me, example, I really love coffee. I love coffee shops. And so when I retire in like 15, 20 years, when I'm like 50-ish, about that age, I'll probably just work at a coffee shop just for something to do, you know, and I'll just be there because, you know, I want to be there, not because I have to be there, sort of a deal. But yeah, so let's see. Rick, what up? What up, YouTube moderations? Hi, how's it going? Alexa, true. Yep. YouTube, is there any chance I can be a mod? Please. Dude, I just met you. Wow, thank you, Rick. Thank you for the super chat. It's everyone's favorite soft-handed driver. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look at that, son. No, I probably can't pick that up, but I promise I have calluses. Not that you're gonna believe me, Rick. I do. I have calluses. I ain't no white-collar worker here. But anyways, YouTube, I mod a bunch of channels. Mate Loaf sent makeup brush. Oh, thanks. Zamir, Jesus King. Yes, he is. Elisa, happy Pride Month, big boy. Yeah, we're not going to get into that. No, that's just... People are going to do what they're going to do. That's all I'll say on that. Alexa, I'm in America, right? Yes, I am. Jameis Weezer, are there ring... you almost got me. You almost got me. Jameis, bravo. You were this close. Bravo. I always love those it wasn't Homer. It was Bart. I always appreciate... What's going on with my lip? Leftover apple on my lip, but I always appreciate those Bart style trolls. Very good, sir. You almost got me. Rick, yes, he's American. Barca, do you watch soccer? I do not. I don't really watch any sports, actually, to be honest. I don't mind watching sports. Soccer seems a little, and again, I'm probably going to offend some people here, especially with the World Cup coming up. Soccer seems a little bit too boring to me, but just me. I used to be into watching football, the real football, the American football. Now I'm going to get some hate comments for that, but I haven't watched sports in probably 4 or 5 years since I've been into trucking. Really, I have not had the time to. I've not had the luxury to sit around and watch sports. I've had better things to do with my time, quite honestly. I'd rather get outside and explore and, you know, go hiking, see some different stuff, all that jazz. But Kristen, hi, how's it going? Alicia, does your company have an honorary? No, we do not. At least not to my knowledge. Let's see. Zamir, Jesus King, agreed. He is. Christ is King. Kristen, Aromo, hi. Do you do construction? No, this is just a high-vis vest that I'm supposed to wear while I'm on, well, at least while I, like this undershirt here, it's actually nice and breathable, but it doesn't have any like high-vis stuff, and we're supposed to wear high-vis because people aren't paying attention, and I could get run over at any moment. And chances are, if I'm not wearing this high-vis viz and somebody hits and kills me, I am not going to, well, my family is not going to see any of that insurance money. So here I am wearing the high-vis shirt. Yeah, in Denmark, by law, we work max 35 to 37 hours per week. Everything above that is paid much extra for overtime. I prefer time over money. Agreed. Yeah. 30. Yeah. Wow. I can't think of the last time that I've worked only 30. To be fair, I did just take 9 days off for a vacation. So I think that kind of helps my case, but yeah, I haven't, for like a normal work week, I'm usually sitting around 55 to 60 hours, which I'm paid overtime after 40. So I probably bring in about a 60, no, I think it's about a 58-hour week brings me about $2,500 gross per week that I bring in as a fuel hauler. So I don't volunteer for 6 days. I work 5 days a week. I have 2 days off, and then I go back. Like, this is technically my Tuesday, because I have Wednesday and Thursdays off, but I don't need to work any extra. I mean, if I get called in to work extra, I'll do it, because I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done it in like a year. So, but yeah, I don't need any extra money. If you can't live off $2,500 a week, you got serious problems. You got a huge spending problem. Let's see. Rick, what is this? What is this being smart with money propaganda? Hey, it's, you do you, man. You do you. If you want to, and I know I'm not the only person that's telling you to invest and save some money, you know. So if you would rather, you know, go to the way of my man White Bread Thunder, who was making the comments that I was referring to earlier, and you want to work till you die, be my guest. I ain't gonna put a pew to your head and, you know, say you gotta save money and invest, but I'd recommend it. I would recommend it, but you do you. It's your money at the end of the day. So I'm not gonna, you know, God willing, I'm not gonna be here after 20 years. I'm gonna retire at 50 and be done, because I've put in enough hours. But Kristen, thank you for the gift. Daniel, I'm in the hospital for having ADHD. I don't think you get admitted to a hospital for that, but I'm no nurse. But hopefully you recover quickly and they can help you solve that. But let's see. Rick, that doesn't even make sense. Why to be in the hospital? Yeah, I don't know. Rick, how dare you not be in sports ball, bro? Yeah, pretty much. Lane Rodriguez, are you driving a truck? Well, not at the moment. I am parked next to all these other trucks. Let's see. I am sitting at the shop waiting for them to replace a tire. So, you know what? There was a good comment that I got, and figured we might have a good discussion about, should you actually work until you die? Because that's what this guy presented as the alternative to saving and investing, which that doesn't sound great to me. But hey, you know, you guys let me know if you want to work until you die. Let's see. Life is currency. Hope you're having a good day, man. Getting my CDL in a few days. Congrats, man. Thank you for making content. I've considered the oil field because of your vids. Oh, hey, oil field's a good place. Oil field's a great place to make money. I think it's another subscriber of mine, JPTV3000, I think it is. And he has his own channel too. So check that out. He's in the oil fields, and he spends like half the year in the oil field, just racking up the money, racking up the hours. And then I think he goes to the Philippines for the other half of the year, and just, you know, so he probably works a year's worth of work in like 6 months, but then takes the other 6 months off, which not a bad way to live. So, you know, you can do stuff like that. Guys have, if they're smart with their money, which most guys aren't, you know, Rick, if they're smart with their money, guys who will go into the oil field, stash all the money away for like 10 years, and then they're done. They've stashed, you know, $600,000-$700,000 away. They've invested it properly, and they can retire after 10 years. You know, there's that opportunity, but you just got to be smart with your money. It's not about how much you make, it's about what you save at the end of the day. But congrats on getting your CDL. Let us know if that goes well. Lane, are you driving a big truck? I mean, it's a normal semi. It's just a day cab, as you can obviously see behind me. That's my trailer. Let's see if yeah. So it's just a normal truck, nothing crazy, just a freight shaker as they call it, or a Freightliner Cascadia. Let's see if I can actually, hopefully this phone doesn't call. Alexa, that's crazy. Yeah, as far as the oil field money and all that, yeah, it's good. It's there. The opportunity's there. Odin, hello from Lakeland, Florida. How's it going? Rick, how dare you call me out? Yeah. Eric, no, I'm at the shop. I'm not in line. I am waiting for, there's a cut in my sidewall. Actually, you know what? I might as well just show you guys, honestly. Let's see here. 3 points of contact. 3 points of contact. Look at this guy. Look at this cut. That needs to get replaced. That's out of service. And so is that. So, yeah, good old grand time. So, oh, putting the phone down. 3 points of contact. See if I can actually put this back now. But yeah, no, it was a giant cut in my sidewall that I found in my pre-trip, and I was like, that's out of service. That's out of service. So I'm just waiting on the shop to finish up. There's 2 trucks ahead of me in the shop, so just figured I'd go live and, you know, make something productive out of the time that I'm just sitting here. I mean, I'm still getting paid, so whatever, you know. Let's see. Life is currency. Seems like there's more consistency in the fuel hauling. And thank you, man. It's been 2 months of grinding for the license, and it's well worth it. Yeah, I agree. Well, as far as the, it's not that there's not consistency in the oil field, to be clear, but it's just like fuel hauling specifically, and by fuel hauling, I mean like primarily diesel for truck stops, which, you know, as you can see, there's just year-round consistency. Like as far as hours go, it doesn't drop off. Not that the oil field doesn't have areas where they don't drop off as much, but like as I've said in my videos, the natural gas hauling that I did in the oil field, it dropped off more in the summer because it was more of a seasonal product. Not that you couldn't get at least like 40, 50 hours in the summer a week, which you still could, but and then you worked back up to like 70, 80 hours a week in the fall, winter, and early spring, obviously. But it just depends too. But there's definitely good companies out there regardless that are still going to give you steadier work than certain companies and certain jobs. But you just got to do the research, and that's about it. Let's see here. Eric, head to Suncor right now, but 40 minutes. Oh, okay, gotcha. Fireball, you do your pre-trip. Hey man, I'm not going to tell anybody to do the pre-trip. If you get caught at the scale and you know, they find a violation on you that you could have caught on your pre-trip, and then you get something on your license as a result, and you get a ticket as well, then play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know, you should be able to catch most things. Obviously, certain things you may or may not be able to catch, but if you just do your job, it's not that hard. But hey, you do you, man. You do you. J Dak, hurry up and wait. Yeah, pretty much. It's funny because as far as the shops go, like sometimes it just depends on the area, depends on the night. Like the last time I was in the shop for a preventative maintenance thing, I was in and out in like 30 minutes. But you know, the other guys that I work with, they're like, oh, I was there for 4 hours and they couldn't get it together. So it just depends. Definitely depends on the shop. Hazmat Trucker is just here for the applause. His hands are too soft for hard work. Yeah, definitely. I don't work hard. Hey, that's true. I mean, especially compared to like our man White Bread Thunder up there, you know, working what did he say? He said the Alaska driving hours, the Alaska hours of service regulations, where you could drive 15 hours a day in a 24-hour period, I would assume. And then you could also be on duty for 20 hours, which I get it. It's Alaska. It's a big state. There's not a lot there. You need a lot more hours to be able to drive for stuff, but I'm good. I don't need to work 15 hours in a day or even 20. So yeah, he's the real hard-handed one. I got nothing but soft baby hands in comparison. So X47, I feel like if I read that, I'm gonna get flagged. I feel like I'm gonna get flagged if I read that. So I appreciate the troll, but you should probably get that checked out by your doctor. Probably. I guess your day driver's being lazy, Eric. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they happened at the end of the day. I just know they were there when I did my pre-trip. So they need to get replaced as far as or it needs to get replaced as far as the tires. So whatever. Yeah, hazmat pays good when you get jobs. Taking out Trump's fart from DC. That's funny. I mean, well, actually, speaking of government contracted work, I know they can make some good money too. It's just when it dries up, it dries up. That's the problem with it. Like, there is such a thing, in my opinion, just my opinion, but there is such a thing of going too niche within whatever job you're doing, and not being able to get another job because what you do is so rare and unique. And so if you lose one employer, you may have to go a while without being hired by somebody else, and hopefully you saved your money at that point. So but yeah, anyways, Joey, do you like baseball only when your team is good? I haven't watched baseball, and you know what actually killed my desire to watch baseball was going to over my childhood, because I grew up in Colorado. I probably went to about 10 Colorado Rockies games. Maybe not even that much. I think it was like 5 to 7 Colorado Rockies games. They lost every single one. And it wasn't like, oh, they lost by like 1 run. It was always a blowout. Every single Rockies game that I went to, it was just a blowout. So I think, and I wasn't even really a Rockies fan. I was just like kind of just trying to support the home team sort of a thing. And I was just like, nah, this isn't fun just to see them get blown out every single game. But let's see. Do you drink soda? I don't. I really don't. I like Sprite, but I have it like once a year, if that. It's just not my thing. I prefer agua, water, but D1, hi, how's your day? It's off to a start. I'll say that. It's whatever. I still get paid for sitting here at the shop waiting for them to change a tire, so I can't complain. But it could be worse. It could always be worse. As Jeremy Clarkson once said, it still could be worse. But yeah, so it's not bad. How's your day going? Let's see. You trying to soak up the clock? Fireball says, no, I'm just waiting for them to fix a tire, and I don't have a choice because it is quite literally an out of service violation because it's a giant cut in the sidewall. Like if I go over the scale, which I would, because I was supposed to go down to Denver, load in Denver, and then there's a weigh scale or a DOT scale in Fort Collins that I would have gone over that probably would have been open if I went over it and they found it and they inspected it and found it. Yeah, it would have been a problem for me. So yeah, no, let's see. Jesse, aren't you transgender? No, I'm not. Pringle, he ain't live. I'm live. Maybe it says lag in the service. I am cheap. I do have that Mint Mobile, so maybe it's a lag in service, but it says it's live on my end. But the Pride Month page was promoting the stream. How dare you? How dare you? That's funny. Good one. Good one. I appreciate it, internet. Great. I bet you drive automatic. You know what? Let me show you. Let me show you. See this? If I press that in, that M right there, I can shift into a manual mode, and you know, I can just press the gear shifter up and down, and I'm a real trucker again. I just shift gears with that little stick. There's nothing down here. Nothing down here. There's no stick anywhere right here that I would shift gears with, but I'm a real trucker once again if I just push that little stick up and down. I actually do miss driving manuals, to be completely honest. I really, really do. I haven't driven a manual. I had a 13-speed Kenworth T880 that I was driving with a drop axle, tag axle, whatever you want to call it. When I was at Pilot, I missed driving that truck. That thing was just, so smooth. It drank diesel like none other. I think I only averaged like 3.5, 4 miles a gallon, but I wasn't paying the fuel bill, so not my problems. And it was a dream to drive. That's the only thing I miss about working at Pilot is that truck, which I would have gotten kicked out of anyways because they gave that time slot after I left another truck, which was an automatic. So let's see, Eric, my check stub app told me I was down 14% this week and I still had 74 hours. Yeah, pretty much. Hazmat is all about that soft life. His hands are like marshmallows. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I don't know. I'm good with, I guess I got soft hands because I'm good with, 10 to 12 hours a night and calling it a day. And if they ask me to work more, it is what it is, but I don't like volunteering for more because I did that for 3.5 years and I'm good. I am good. So let's see. Grid, what up, Dookie? Fireball, I figured a steering wheel holder. I mean, essentially, as much as I would like to complain about the automatics, when you have to go to Denver, which I do on a regular basis, and I get into Denver proper at about, or I'm starting to get into Denver proper usually at about 6:30. You appreciate an automatic when you're in stop and go traffic. I mean, we can pretend, I'm a real trucker if I have a manual, but that is going to Denver on it, which I actually, for Pilot, when I had that manual truck, I went to Denver pretty consistently, and that was, I didn't get to enjoy it nearly as much versus staying in Wyoming and, going through the gears more often, not having to, clutch in, clutch out constantly in Denver traffic. But it is what it is. I wish, I wish my boss would get us a quad axle, whatever, Freightliner, Kenworth with a 13-speed transmission and then a quad axle tanker to go behind us. But we go into Denver too often, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And there's extra permits that you have to get on top of it. So it would be nice. It'd be nice, so boss man, if you're listening, please manuals. But it is what it is. Let's see. Backpacking go. Best job ever. Yesterday got 3 loads and 52 miles almost all day spent at the rack. Today was today was 400 miles and 2 loads, but getting paid by the hours is absolutely where it's at. Agreed. At least I would agree it's the best job for me. It's definitely not the best job for everybody. I'm not going to say there's not downsides to this job because there are plenty of downsides. Slip seating, I don't like slip seats, to be clear. But I like slip seating a truck more than having my own truck and then having to max out my 70-hour clock every single week. But just me. Nights, working on nights, not the biggest fan of that. Working through any and all types of weather, working through traffic, working through, I had what was it? Yeah, last night I was unloading gas up in Cheyenne, and there was a lady pulling a camper, and I'm just, mind my own business, just kind of walking around the drop pad while the gas is unloading. And she's like, "Hey, come here. I'm like, what? Okay, what? And she's like, "Hey, that person over there who's hauling that other truck, his plate was from Chihuahua, Mexico, and he didn't speak any English, but when I came back out from the store and looked at my camper behind me, the door was open. I don't think he stole anything, but could you just stop him if he tries to follow me? I think he might follow me." I'm just like, if he's going to follow you, and this is what I told her, if he's going to follow you, call the cops. I'm not getting involved. Like, I'm not going to stop somebody from following you. And she's like, "Well, my name is so-and-so, and, only one other person knows that I'm here, and I'm driving by myself, and he only didn't go into my truck because my dogs were in my truck, and I'm just really scared." I'm like, okay, well, if you're that scared, again, call the cops. And then she was like, "Well, can you just make sure he doesn't follow me?" I'm like, again, just drive, go where you need to go, and if he's following you, then call the cops. It's not that big of a deal. And then, she's like, "Oh, okay, thanks, but just stay here and make sure he was." I was like, no. And I just waved goodbye and went on with my day. So it's like, you deal with schizophrenics like that, because it was 2 a.m. and who else is out at 2 a.m. besides drunks, schizophrenics, or just paranoid people, so it is what it is. There's definitely there's plenty of downsides to this job, but there's a lot of upsides too. Home every day, paid $2,500 a week for 58 hours a week, every single week, I average about that pretty much every single week throughout the year. So the opportunity to make money at home or being home every single night is there, or every day, I guess, since I'm a night shift person. I'm home every day, not home every night, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, One Man? How's it going? Hey, you should be asleep right now, One Man. Come on now, get your sleep. Let's see here. Let's see. Where'd the okay, there we go. Backpack, I'm spoiled. I get my own truck and I just work what hours I want. Nice. Yeah, that's a good spot to be in. I had that scenario when I was at Pilot for a few months in that Kenworth, and so I just had that Kenworth to myself for probably about 2 months, maybe 3 months. When I first transitioned over to day shift, I started at 5 p.m. I didn't have a slip seat, so until they hired the guy behind me about 2 months later. And so, but they worked me like a dog. Oh man. Which again, soft hands here. So take this with a giant grain of salt because I'm saying it. But I worked, they basically wanted me every single day. They wanted me to go all the way down to Aurora and then go up to Laramie, drop, and then go all the way back down to Aurora, and then come back up to Cheyenne, which with Denver traffic, it was easily over 13 hours every single day, which it was fine because I needed the money at the time. Now I'm not in that spot where I need the money that bad, where I need to work that much every single day. Just not me. If you work that much, cool. Hopefully you're saving your money and you don't have to work until you die, as we started out this live stream with talking about, but you guys do you. I'm not gonna, nothing in life is guaranteed. Very clearly that is the case, but God willing, I ain't gonna be driving this truck anymore much past age 50 unless I want to. I'm not gonna be here past age 50 unless I want to be here. Just me though, just me. Let's see. Rick, I love how you constantly say you haul fuel, yet people still ask what you haul. Yeah, pretty much. Eric, another lazy Gemini driver that don't want to work 6 days and doesn't want to help a lady in distress. No, it's like, no, I'm not I'm not getting involved with people's affairs in the public. That is explicitly the job of people who think that I have their job, meaning cops. Like, as much as people think that I'm a cop, I'm not getting involved with that because I'm not a cop, you know. So no, I'm not. And they didn't even follow her. Like, I wasn't paying super close attention, but it didn't even look like they went into her camper. So it's just like, I think there's something going on up here, but it's just, I've had so many similar encounters to that. It's just like, you just kind of brush it off at this point because it's just kind of part of the job. it's especially at night, which you get them during the day too, but especially at night, dealing with the schizophrenics is part of the undisclosed job duties. Unfortunately, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Fireball. So how many hours a day do you work? I average about 11 to 12. So, because I average about 57, 58 hours a week. Last week I did 62 and a half. Eat it, Rick. Take that. I put in some hours. I work hard, see? But no, I average about 11 to 12 hours a night, usually. Rick, gotta go. See you later, bro. Have a good night. Have a great night. Be safe. You as well. Have a good one, Rick. Hey, what's up, Neba? How is it going? How is training going, man? I'm just sitting here at the shop waiting for them to change a tire, a drive tire that's got a nice gash in the sidewall, and they told me it was going to be about 3 hours. So here I am doing another live stream, but Apple keeps showing up, man. But yeah, how's training going? I wonder, let me know in the comments if you got to be close to being done with training, right? Maybe, I don't know, but let me know. Fireball, so you're going to retire driving trucks? Yeah, I mean, I just don't, like, this job is so easy on a regular basis, or like on a day-to-day basis, that there's no point doing anything else unless I'm forced to do. Like, if I get laid off, that's one thing, and then I'll, probably end up going to haul fuel at another company, or I'll do something else within hazmat. If I can't do that, I'll do something else within trucking. If I can't do anything within trucking, then I'll figure something out. But again, God willing, I'll just retire here, put in like my 20 years. I'll get the last safety bonus check, which I think at 20 years you get $25,000 at 20 years. I think that's right. Yeah, you get a $25,000 check after 20 years of driving here, specifically at Gemini, not Gemini Motor Transport, not anywhere else that I'm aware of. Yeah, so I'm just going to do this and call it a day, because it's really not that hard on the body as far as the actual physicality of the work, and just keep it moving, man. So get out of here before I actually do get hurt, driving or whatever, but let's see here. Eric, you did the right thing. Just mind your own business. Yep. Agreed. Michael, I used to get 80 hours of work a week. I think you meant. I used to get 80 a work a week as an owner operator and set my truck to 95. Oof. Yeah, that's 80 hours a week. I've done 80 hours a week in the oil field. I have not obviously done that here. But yeah, and at night too, having to work through blizzards, I've done 180, I think it was like 83 hours was the most that I've worked in 1 week. And no, 70 you can manage. Personally, for me, I know I got soft hands. No, I'm not doing 80 hours a week again. If I can help it, hopefully I'll never be in that scenario again. That's certainly the plan, to be not in that position again, but We shall see. Let's see. Admin, your eyes and facial features remind me so much of my mom when she was young. I mean that as a compliment, not in an age-related way. I'm wearing sunglasses. How do you know what my eyes look like now? Come on. Come on. My eye color is black, like the color of my soul. No, just kidding. But that's... Thanks for the compliment, I suppose. But Eric, what shop am I at? Berthoud. I'm at the Berthoud shop. Because I was supposed to go... You might have missed this, but I was supposed to go down to Suncor, take a load up to Laramie. Did my pre-trip, and then I found that cut, and I was like, all right, well, guess I'm stopping at Suncor. Neba, training has been pretty long. I'll be done in about a week, which I don't need, but I got to play ball, ready to fly solo. Yep, that's fair. Because I think, at least when I transferred over here, maybe they changed the policy. It was minimum 10 days is the minimum, even if you had prior experience. You had to be in training at least 10 days. So I just banged that out, and then my RM at the time, who is not the current RM, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. He wanted me to try and get carded at P66, but I was like, I mean, I'm willing to if you really think I need it. But then he changed his mind at the last minute, and then because I was gonna spend like another 3 or 4 days down with the lead driver down there. I forget his name. James? Maybe James. I haven't met him yet, so I've only talked to him on the phone a few times. But I was going to spend another few days down with him getting carded at P66, but at least for us, we rarely pull it. Once in a blue moon, they'll want us to try and pull it, but I think it's... you can remind me if you're carded there, but I think it's the same case at P66 where, like, if you don't pull it once every 90 days, or you don't pull a load out of P66 once every 90 days, you're not carded there anymore. Similar with Suncor West, but that's just what I remember. But yeah. So cool. I'd be curious if you're finally getting used to that mountain driving, because I don't think you did much mountain driving with Grondike before, right? So I'd be curious if you're finally getting used to it. Not that I've really done much. I don't count 80. I guess Elk Mountain is a little bit hairy in the winter sometimes, but it's not like legit mountain pass type deal. It's no Loveland Pass on I-70. I'll just say that. But let's see here. Michael, I'm still called by my CB handle. Nice. UZU, he's a fake construction worker. Yeah, I mean, I certainly could pose as one. Although it does say Gemini Motor Transport on the back of this high-vis vest, so that'd be kind of a giveaway. Michael, not afraid of a little hard work. Yep. Neba RM is trying to get me into a sleeper sooner than later, which is nice. Yeah, nice. Who was it? Oh, Ryan from California. He was on Dirty Broke's channel, but he just said in the live the other morning that he's going to be in a sleeper for a regional sleeper position. I want to say he said it was in Nevada. So he's actually going to be moving, or he's going to be based out of Nevada, and he's no longer going to be in California on a regular basis. So good for him. Username, blue collars are so hot. Whoa, now. Them's dangerous words. Michael, my handle is Prime Suspect. Nice. Michael Thomas, try Silverton Pass in Oregon. Are you talking about the one? Is that the one that's? Is that the one that is on 84? I want to say it's on 84. I've only driven that one in the car, if that's the one that I'm thinking of. But I did on vacation. I did actually go over Wolf Creek Pass, coming back from what was it? Coming back from Alamosa, or no, coming from, where did we stay the night? No, we stayed the night in Alamosa, and we'd done Wolf Creek Pass the previous day. Yeah. So that's, again, I've only done that in a car, and that's pretty gnarly in a truck. My dad has done Wolf Creek Pass in a truck, and he was a flatbedder at the time. He was doing, I think he had a load of concrete barriers, and he also did that in the wintertime, and he said that was like among the hairiest things he's ever done was Wolf Creek Pass in the winter. But fortunately, that's not my lane. I'm mostly flat ground around here, so yeah, I don't have to deal with that much. But let's see here. Can't pronounce, but hi, my name is Yoko. How's it going, Yoko? Can you, whoops, hold on. Can you parallel park your truck? I can. I'd be real rusty at it because, to be honest, especially with the truck stop fuel hauling, we hardly ever back up. So like it would take me probably about 30 minutes to parallel park. I mean, I've done it in a pinch and it hasn't been the prettiest. It wouldn't be within like the strict little boundaries that they give you for the test. I did actually, for my CDL test, I did the alley dock. I did the reverse, was it a blindside alley dock? I think it was a blindside alley dock, but it was easy for me because I had a flatbed at the time, so I didn't have a reefer unit. So I was working for a flatbed company at the time, so it was pretty easy. But yeah, let's see here. Nice to meet you from Japan. Hey, congrats, or well, not congrats, but very cool, very cool. Nice to meet you as well. I would like to go to Japan one day to visit. They've got a lot of stuff I'd like to check out. Eric, actually, my coworker, he's been to Japan a few times. He was telling me, I think the year before last is when he went to Tokyo. He was telling me he had a great time in Tokyo despite how many people are there. So, which is crazy because for us, for like the major cities, I don't remember how many people are in Tokyo, but for the major cities for us, it's very dirty. And again, different culture. So I'd be curious to go over there and check it out based on what he was telling me. So let's see here. Michael, on I-90, I went down Silverton sideways. Oof. Okay, yeah, I-90. Wait, is that in... I thought I-90 went through... Washington, Oregon, or no, not I-90. I thought only exclusively went through. Are you talking about I-5? That makes more sense. I-5 would make more sense, or Interstate 5, because I-90 goes from Seattle over to Idaho, then to Montana. I don't think it goes, at least not that I can pull up on a map right now since I'm live, but I thought that was I-5. But Fireball, is it a 53 foot or shorter? I don't know. It's pretty short. It's definitely not 53 feet. I don't know verbatim what the length of my trailer is. I want to say it's like 48 to 46 feet. It's pretty short. It turns very well, but it's just an older, as you can see right there, it's an older Beal trailer. It's a 2009. Yeah, 2009. But yeah, I like it. Eric, did your dad ever consider keeping his truck running after he retired, let someone else run it so he could still make money? He brought that idea up to me, but at that time, I did not want to get into trucking. I wanted to try some other things else out. And but he still had his truck by the time I got into trucking. But he brought if I remember correctly, we actually had that discussion. I thought about buying his truck from him, but again, I knew so little about trucking because I just got into it. I did not, and he told me flat out, he's like, because he got into trucking as an owner operator with his own authority. Which this was like 2012, 2013. And the amount of stuff he had to learn on the fly, he was like, you're better off just finding a good company to work for, know the ropes, versus having to go through all the headaches and the stress and the thieving brokers that he had to deal with when he was running his own truck. At least that's the conversation I remember having with him. But let's see. Other words, how long? Oh, yeah. Other words, how long you been driving? 5 years. Officially this month, 5 years. So I'm going to be staying in unless I'm forced out for whatever reason. Trucking has a lot of downsides, but I can't complain. I've made, even my first year, I think I still made $60,000 in trucking. I think I made maybe about the same the second year, and then the third year I made $100,000 gross, all gross, as a company driver. Fourth year I made, or third year, yeah, third year I made 100,000. Fourth year I made about 120,000 at pilot, and then last year, technically my fifth year, was about 130,000 gross with Loves here as a fuel hauler. So I can't complain, quite honestly. So it's been good. Trucking's been good to me because I've put in the work and actually made the most out of it. I've treated it like a career for the last 3 years, not the first 2 years. Obviously, I was kind of treating it like a normal job, and I didn't want to put effort into getting into the niche fields, but it is what it is. Michael, parallel parking is so much fun. I have, and I find it a little challenging. Yeah. Michael, no I-90 and it's fun while it's snowing. I bet. I swear I-90 does not go through Oregon, but I could be wrong. I'm not looking at a map right now, but I'll take your word for it. It's Aubrey. Hello. I'm struggling. How has today been treating you? It's been good. It's not been bad. How has your day been treating you? For a Saturday, could be worse. It could be worse. It really just could be worse. But John says, hi, how's it going, John? Thomas, oh my gosh, girl, how many people do you tell? What? I think I'm missing something. It's Aubrey, not a lot. To you might be too many for me. Not telling everyone, just finding lives. Sure, I promise. Michael, I started driving my truck, I started driving my truck in 1991 till 2012, have just over 2 million miles. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a haul. I don't know. And as local drivers too, we don't really care how many miles we do, quite honestly, at the end of the day. So it is what it is. But if I had to ballpark it, and I don't track it, let's see, I'll show you guys. I got 236,000, almost 600 miles on this truck, which is split about 55-45, me being the 45% of the miles between me and my slip seat, because he works 6 days, I don't, or volunteers for 6 days, I don't. So if I had to ballpark it, I would probably say I'm somewhere in the 600,000 to 700,000 mile range. It's all been local trucking minus 1 month of regional. So if I had to ballpark it, it'd be somewhere in 600,000 miles range. But let's see, Tom, John, are you live tomorrow? Probably not. I generally do my live streams early Monday and Tuesday mornings. But since I'm sitting here at the shop, figured, might as well stream. Let's see here. Let's get back down. Eric, later, bro. Got to this big belly. Hey, it doesn't have to be big. Come on, man. Get that diet on, no, but let's see here. Black man. Wait, Rain, a black man just walked out on his family because you took his job. Think about that. Yeah, I got this job because somebody retired. And he definitely wasn't black. He was an older white guy, from what I know. But yeah, you got me there. That's from the Park of the South. That they're taking our jobs, sort of a deal. But John, are you live tomorrow? I think I answered that. Can I see the truck from the outside? I'll tell you what, I'll do this. See if you can see this. Yeah. So it's nothing special. It's just a Freightliner Cascadia. Nothing special at all. It is hot out today, man. Oof. It's like, there's no way. My truck says it's 99. There's no way it's 99 though. I think it's probably like 85, which again, hot for me. Ooh. Little Purple Dill. Hello, how's your day going? Good. How are you? That's a big truck. Yeah, it's a day cab, so it's not anything special. But it is what it is. Let's see here. I think I'm coming up on, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I think that's about everybody. Bendicidi. I can't pronounce that. Sorry, man. I'm a little too white for that. Hi, bro. I am Nicaraguan. My name is Gustavo. Nice. Is it a Peterbilt? No, it is not a Peterbilt. It is a Freightliner. Here, let me show you. Right there. It says it right there. Nothing special. Nothing special. Yeah. Hello. I'll just say Bendicio. Michael, hey, I'm living in Paulden, AZ. It is only 97 today. Here, hope you keep your refrigerated butt inside. Yeah, I can't. I was listening to somebody who was telling me in Las Vegas it got up to 90. It was in the 90s in February. I was like, no, like they can give me all the crap in the world for having to live in Wyoming and dealing with the wind and primarily wind. We don't get outside of like the Yellowstone area. We don't, and the mountain range called the Snowies, which is west of Laramie a little bit. We don't get a lot of snow. It's primarily just the wind that creates big snow drifts, which causes obvious problems. But no, we don't get a lot of snow. So it's no. Since I've been living in Wyoming, I have not seen a 100-degree day. It's gotten like 97 a couple of times, but nah, I'll pass. You guys can keep that hot weather. I'm good. You can always, the way that I put it is, you can always put more layers on for cold weather, but you can only take so many layers off for hot weather. So let's see here. Backpack. We call the Gemini trucks banana trucks. Yeah, it is kind of that yellow. That's funny. Yeah. I'd be curious who you work for, if you're willing to say, Backpack. But John, top speed. Technically, my top speed is 73 with the little PassSmart thing. Where it lets you go an extra 3 miles per hour over your governed speed limit for 30 minutes to be able to pass people more efficiently. But technically, my top speed, my governed speed is 70 miles an hour, which is fine. I mean, it would be great. Pilot had some older trucks that could go like 75 when I was with them, but 70 is fine. It gets you where you need to go in a decent, timely manner. Now, if I was stuck at like 62, that would kind of suck. But that's not me. And we do, at least where I'm at in Wyoming, we have a lot of distances to cover between stores and between places that we need to pick up at. So 70 miles per hour does the job. It definitely does the job. Bendicito, nice truck. Thank you, sir. It's not mine. Company paid for it. I'm just a company driver. I just drive the thing and load the trailer. And unload the trailer. That's what I got. I got John. What trailer you got on? You can probably see that right there. Maybe it's a 2009 Beal. It's a tank trailer. Let me see if I can. Oh, why can I not zoom back out? Come on. There we go. Oh, it was zoomed out. Actually, you know what? I might as well do a little walk around since I'm still sitting here. Just a minute. Needed that Hey, just remember, hydrate or dihydrate. Drink that water, especially Michael down in Arizona. You need that water. So let's do a little walk around here. Again, 3 points of contact. Let's see here. Lock it up. So this is the trailer. Yeah, I want to say it's like 48 in or 48 feet. I couldn't tell you otherwise. I don't really know. I've never measured it, but it's definitely shorter than the normal reefer trailer for sure. What is it going? Oh, okay. It's like, oh no, not another hole in another tire. Please no. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Nothing real special. Nothing real special. So it's just a normal Freightliner. All right. Just remember, kids, 3 points of contact. Let's see here. Oh. All right. Man, hopefully they call me soon. This is getting ridiculous. But yeah, let's see here. Michael, I have hooked up to the 53 footers then, and then the 57 footers too. Yeah, I did. Actually, that must. Yeah, I think you're probably showing your age there a little bit, Michael. I didn't even know there was 57 foot trailers. As far as like normal reefer or drive-in trailers. When I was at Pilot, I did doubles for them, and the total length, depending upon the specific set and the truck, was generally sitting about 94 feet to 97 or 98 feet total length between the truck, first trailer, and then the second or pup trailer. But let's see here. Bro, did everyone tell you look like Kevin Durant? The basketball player? Isn't he black? That's the only Kevin Durant I'm familiar with. I don't see it. I don't see it. Unless you're talking about another Kevin Durant. John, going to the bed now. I'm from the UK. We'll chat on your next live. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's probably pretty late over there, I'd imagine. It's what? You guys are 8 hours ahead of us, so it's 4 in the morning, maybe. Yeah, 4 in the morning. Dang. Yeah, that's late. Well, hey, you have a good one. I'll see you on the next one. Get some good sleep. Backpacking Shepherd Oil. It's a family company out of Oklahoma. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I haven't heard of them, but that would make sense. That would make sense. Michael, I have hooked up to 2 57 footers from Texas to the other side of Louisiana. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't know what the restrictions are down there. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't done anything that long. I've not done like triples or anything like that. I see the FedEx and the UPS guys doing triples down here in Colorado occasionally, but I haven't done anything that long. So, and I don't even think the triples are all that long. I think they still probably are under, maybe it's like a 26 foot pup trailer. So that's what? That's 78 feet between the 3 trailers and then whatever the truck is. So I think those are still pretty, maybe like 90 feet total, I would guess, but who knows? Let's see here. Peter, Jesus is God. Amen. Jesus is risen. He is, Christ is King, indeed. Alamo City, hello, how's it going? Han, Hare Krishna, Yoko, love USA. Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, I love, well, at least what I have seen on the surface as far as Japan goes. It seems like a very, very nice country that I'd like to visit one day. So can't say I love it yet, at least intellectually, if I'm being intellectually honest, because I have not been there. But from what I've been told from everybody that I've talked to has been there, it seems like a lovely place. So let's see. John, I like the truck walk around. I'm going to bed now. We'll chat on your next live. Very good. Get some sleep, John. Where is this? This is in Colorado. This is just north of Denver, Colorado, is where I'm at currently. I live in Wyoming, which is just about another hour north of where I am. So, but yeah, kind of central Rocky Mountain regions, not Midwest, but Rocky Mountain region of the U.S. Let's see, Michael, I did that with Werner out of Omaha, Nebraska, and been in every state in the lower 48. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Interesting. I could have swore that doubles were not allowed in Nebraska, but maybe they have since changed that, because at least when I was with Pilot, because we had some stores in Nebraska, like I think it was Ogallala. Yeah, it was Ogallala that I did that I refilled up when I was a fuel hauler with Pilot. They specifically told us, like, yeah, doubles are not allowed in Nebraska, at least with a normal Class A truck. With Class B trucks, I think it's a little bit differently. They can have a pup if it's a Class B truck, but at least with Class A's, we were always told, yeah, no, you will done go to jail if you bring a second trailer into Nebraska. So we always had to detach our pups. So I wonder if they changed that since you got out of trucking. But admin, I'm not reading that again, admin. That's just too weird. That's the same comment. Michael, out in Colorado and Utah, and Montana, I've seen them all over in the States. I would have loved to drive up to Alaska. Yeah. And speaking of, I've not been to Alaska. Like Hector or White Bread Thunder, the guy I originally made the stream for, he was the guy that was saying you need to work, or he was implying that you should just work harder until you die, which, again, to get back to the original topic, because this went way off topic, and before I called it a day for this stream, yeah, I'd be curious what you guys say, but for me, it's the balance is just, you got to find the balance. You got to be able to find the balance of being able to live. Because to me, what he was proposing seems like you're living to work, and I have the motivation of working to live, and there's 100% a difference. So let's see here. Thunder Loco. Hey, police old timer. What's going on, Thunder Loco? How is it going? You just got to keep that ball rolling. Thank you and everybody else. You and everybody else got to keep that ball rolling, you know? So I know I got to show my handcuffs that I magically somehow have, which I definitely don't. But yeah, no. How's it going? You must be just starting your shift there, Thunder Loco. Let me know. But let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Because I think Thunder Loco, I think you're night shift, right? I want to say your night shift. I don't know how you would, because I know you're based out of Southern California, so I don't know how you would, fill up all those stations with all that traffic, unless you did it at night. Maybe it's possible during the day, but I don't see how it is. Just got off from 3. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had that backwards then, but okay, nice. From 3 a.m. Oh, okay, so you worked... That's what, 13-hour day? Is that right? No, it's 6 o'clock here. You guys are... No, you're only an hour behind us, right? Because I'm Mountain Time. Yeah, so it's got to be 7 o'clock there. And that would mean you worked 14-hour day, right? Am I getting that math right? Yeah. So 14 hours. Yeah, that's a long day. Hopefully you got paid you're getting the money, man. If you're working that long on a what is it, Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. I know you're getting to the money, so congrats to you. But I'm just going to wrap this stream up. They still haven't called me to get into the shop for this tire change, but I would be curious to know, if you're catching this after the fact, what your personal motivation or your personal policy behind, not investing because you can always work more. That will only work for so long. That's all I'm going to say, because at the end of the day, there's going to be a physical limitation for you to be able to not even just work, but even just to get your license. Because after the bar is pretty low. I will admit that, and I'll throw that out there. As far as the DOT physical, the bar is pretty low, but at a certain point, they're not going to give you that license anymore, especially if you've not taken care of your health. And they are finally starting to enforce that, as far as like the certain aspects of kicking people's licenses out that probably should have been kicked out for a while. And I'm not even talking about the domicile thing. I'm just talking about like people not being able to pass their DOT physical and then still being able to keep their license. There's been some people who have been falling through the cracks over the years, and it seems like they're finally saying no more to that. So at the end of the day, I would argue you should prioritize your health. Keep your diet in check. You can still do that working 70 hours a week. I've done it. And anything else is a cope, and I will die on that hill. But you can still manage to do it. It's just a matter of, are you willing to do it, and are you wanting to do it? So, Michael, I'm retired now and collecting $58.94 a month, and it pays for the roof over my head. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. At least, that sounds a lot. I don't know how old you are. I forget. Maybe you mentioned it earlier, but being at a retirement age and being able to collect something, whether that was from a pension or retirement savings or investing, at least you got something. Because for the people who are just banking on Social Security, I've not verified this yet, but from what I have heard from people who are smarter than me, Social Security is going to get cut by about 35% starting in 2032, because there's not going to be enough people paying into the system. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind if you're just going to bank on Social Security as your retirement savings, because that may not turn out well for you. I'm 64. Okay, gotcha. Hey, well, at least you're not working. At least you've been able to retire and enjoy some of the later years of your life, because there's a lot of people out here that don't ever get to that point because they don't save, they don't live below their means, they don't do anything, and they just kind of let life happen to them. I would definitely not recommend that, but I think I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to call it. So at the end of the day, if you want, I laid out in that last video that I did how you can, get the ball rolling as far as investing and saving, and so that you don't have to retire. You don't, or so that you don't have to keep working. I mean, I don't know. I said that backwards, but I want to retire. But not everybody apparently wants to retire, and they'd rather work until they die. And at the end of the day, because his comment that I mentioned earlier was nobody in this industry lives long enough to worry about the future. Michael just disproved that. He's 64. I'm getting paid from the government. Okay, well, I mean, enjoy it then. Enjoy it. It sounds like you at the very least paid into the system, or maybe that was part of the pension. Maybe it was part pension, not just full Social Security. But either way, enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts, because I'm 30. I don't think it's going to be around in the same capacity, because clearly that's just not the way that it's going for me. So I'm definitely not banking on having Social Security to be there for when I'm retirement age, just because our government is too incompetent to actually save save the money properly, and there's a whole history behind them, going after the funds that were supposed to be set aside for Social Security. I'm not going to get into that now, but that can be a topic for another discussion. But at the end of the day, if you live below your means, you save and invest, you'll be far better off than most people. And that's oh, gotcha. It's from an injury in the Army that I have, PTSD. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that must be, yeah, I think that's got to be 100% then, right? I don't remember what 100% is for pay, but, hey, hopefully there's been a lot of people who have gotten 100% disability from the Army, and they're still broke despite getting a guaranteed check-in of, last I checked, it was like almost $5,000 a month for 100% disability, and they're still broke. That's crazy. That is crazy. So hopefully you're using your money well, and it's paying over. It sounds like it is paying over for the roof of the head, or for the roof over your head. But yeah, it is what it is. Mayhog, I'm going into the railroad after doing manufacturing. What are you doing right now for work? I deliver gas and diesel for the Love's truck stops. Short end of it. I'm a fuel hauler. Railroad's good work too. Yeah, I think they're one of the few places that are still offering a pension as well. If you can make it to, I think it's 30 years. So if you start young, get to that 30-year mark, get your pension and get out, you can make off like a bandit. At least from the last time I checked into it. Maybe it's changed, but railroads are always a good option too. So that most definitely. Eric, I have PTSD from my first marriage. Oh, yeah. There's some rough stories out there for sure. There's some rough stories out there. That's fair. That's fair. So, and here you are getting married a third time. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, I'm just giving you a hard time, but let's see here. Yes, Michael, 100%. I'm bringing in 3808 and Social Security. Okay, well, hey, there you go. Hopefully you still have money left over on a monthly basis, and hopefully it covers everything. That's what I'll say. Hopefully it covers everything, and you're not broke after having $6,400 a month or $6,000 a month, whatever it is, come in. So, because there's those people out there. There's those people out there, and that is a sad state to be in, to be broke and yet still have a guaranteed paycheck coming in every month. That is not going to be me. God willing, that is not going to be me. But Thunder Loco, he's police for Jimerson. Yep, I'm definitely. See, that's the badge right there. No, it's not. Mahogany, oh, that's a good job. I'm starting on June 12th and flying to from West Virginia to Minnesota. I have to go all around the USA. I'm kind of nervous about it. I feel like there's less risk. Than trucking. I think it's more, there's probably an argument to be made that the railroads is probably more stable than trucking, because although I know they have freight recessions too for the railroad. So at the end of the day, there's no guarantees besides death and taxes. Those are the two guarantees that we all get. But either way, it is a good industry to be in, and so yeah, certainly nothing wrong with that. Let's see here. Yeah, Michael, my PTSD paid me $40,000 big check. Oh wow, okay. Clayton, that avatar says it all. That avatar, and kind of the name, honestly, if I'm going to be stereotypical, that name says it all. Clayton says, do you ever wonder what's wrong with the blacks? Oh gosh. There's a lot of here's the problem with racism. It's dictated to a certain race based on, discrimination of some sort, right? The reality is, all people, there's great people from all walks of life, and there's horrible people from all walks of life. That's the reality. Like, bad people have no specific color. I've met great people from every single race, and I've met bad people from every single race. It doesn't matter. Like, it's human nature at the end of the day. So if you want to have that discussion, have it somewhere else, because that's the reality of it. Let's see, Michael. Yeah, I found out about Naomi. Hi, how's it going from West Virginia? How is it going? I am currently in Colorado, just waiting for a tire change. Oh, please. I'm just waiting to get a call, but it is what it is, so. Man, wow, it's almost 8 o'clock. I am probably going to get a phone call here shortly. Hopefully they're going to pull me in. Let's see. Thunder Loco, as an officer, do you run into a lot of people from all walks of life? Oh, as an officer, you do run into lots of people from all walks. You do that as a truck driver, man, just working at a truck stop or fuel hauler for gas stations. All sorts of people from all different walks of life. And that's the reality. Everybody from every race, well, not everybody. Everybody from every single race has the potential to suck. That's the reality. And if you say otherwise, you're lying. But that is. Let's see. Honestly, yeah, humans are humans. Yep, definitely. Writer's block. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, it's human nature. You're trying to whittle it down to a specific race, and that's like, he was mentioning the black people there for a second, but it's like, I've met some terrible white people. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Like, have you never been to a bad part of town with a trailer park? Because I have. I've met some terrible white people too. I've met some, they're all over. It's human nature. Let's see here. Michael, good night, and God bless you, my fellow truckers. Hey, God bless you as well, Michael. Have a good night. Thunder Loco, Eskimo, have you met any? No, I have not, because I am not in Alaska or anywhere. I know we get snow in Wyoming, but not that much snow. We don't get Eskimo level snow. So no, I have not. At least I don't recall meeting any. No, I don't recall meeting any, but because I'm not in that part of the world. But writer's block, who was? Not me. Hello, not me, sir. Yeah, cut username, cut or uncut. I don't know what you're talking about. Steve Bano, after your parents created you, what's your favorite story God made up? Wait, what's your favorite God story made up by humans? Is the insinuation there that it's all fake as far as like what the Bible says? I mean, if you want to believe that, sure, that's fine. I think I would, as John Lennox would say, who is way smarter than me. Not that that's a proclamation of proof, but I would say it takes way more faith to believe that everything around us just happened by chance than it does to have faith that's a single entity made all of this. But just me. Uncut or uncut? Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Let's see. So my parents created me. Did parents create you? Well, yeah, obviously. I don't know. I came from. I'm forgetting the medical term. I came from a sperm and an egg, right? So just like everybody else, I'm not that special because of it. Let's see here. Writer's block on my favorite. My favorite is Batman Steve. Batman Steve. Oh, if you're talking about like that type of story, as far as like hero stories or comic book characters, Man, it's been a while since I've seen any of them. But I was always partial to Spider-Man, but that was just me. Let's see. Clayton Bigsby is just another example of a professional idiot. Hey now. Let's play nice now, kid. Let's play nice now, children. Sai, you have a few assumptions and assertions, Steve. Mahogany, am I the only one that thinks construction is a scam? It's all political, and you get laid off after the project gets done. It's all volunteer work and a scam. I did construction work when I was living in South Dakota. I mean, I thought it was fine, but the company itself wasn't the greatest. Wasn't the worst, wasn't the greatest. I'll just say that. And at the end of the day, I'm sure there's some better construction companies than others, but there are some really skeezy companies in construction, just like there's skeezy construction or skeezy trucking companies as well. My first fuel hauling job, they shorted me every single paycheck that I had. And this is why, if you are on load pay, not even just in fuel hauling, but load pay in general in trucking, keep track of everything that you do and make sure they actually pay you for it on the pay stub. And if they don't, say, hey, you guys shorted me. And then if they want to fight about it, or they drag their feet about it as far as, paying you what you're owed because it's work that you already did, that tells you immediately what kind of company that you're working for, and they are low tier, skis balls, scammers. But unfortunately, I'm fortunate to them, or I'm grateful to them for giving me the job, in the sense of I got my loading cards, I got my experience, my basic experience in fuel hauling from them. But aside from that, absolutely not. Wouldn't recommend them. Wouldn't recommend them to anybody as far as a company to work for. But let's see here. Steve, so my parents forced the Catholic Church on me, then I got smart and realized it's a made-up story. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, either you believe, I'm not going to, you personally have to believe or not, as far as faith goes, and as far as belief in God goes. Like, you either believe or you don't believe. So I'm, there's evidence. There's evidence that people do talk about that are way smarter than me. I'd recommend Stephen. Shoot, he was on Joe Rogan. I'm horrible with names. This is a bummer. Stephen, astrophysicist, but he makes the case that the universe was intelligently designed. He talks about it for over 3 hours and makes a much better case than I possibly could. But at the end of the day, there is evidence. There's not going to be there's still going to be that element that there's still going to be faith, just as you have to have faith to believe it was all created by the Big Bang, but I'll leave it at that. JSLE, hello, sir. How long did your training take for fuel? I'm on my 5th week of training at Lind. Still got about 5 weeks left until solo. I mean, I know it's a little bit more convoluted, or, part of it was, well, no, I only did natural gas. I'm going to stay away from that, because I don't know the ins and outs of cryogenics. But fuel hauling for me, the training part, I picked it up within a week. It's not that simple, or I should say, it's not that hard. It's not that convoluted. Like, at the end of the day, you just make sure it's the right product, the right amount of the right product loaded in from the right loading facility, goes into the right amount, or goes into the right or the correct compartment, and then you travel to the correct store, you drop that correct compartment of whatever it is, diesel or gas, into the correct tanks, and that's it. Like, that's 90% of the job right there. It's not that hard. It only gets hard when you start not paying attention, and then you drop gas and diesel, God forbid, or diesel and gas, or you overload a compartment, or you put the wrong amount of gallons in the compartment or something like that, or you have a broken blend where you put too much ethanol in one compartment for the gas to ethanol ratio or something like that, you know. So it's, as soon as you stop paying attention, it's really hard. But until that point, this is among the easiest jobs that I've ever had. So training for me just took a week, at least at my first job. Now some companies, most companies, as Neba was saying earlier, at least for here, the minimum training amount that they will have you do is like 10 days if you have prior experience. But for most people, I would say 3 to 4 weeks. You should be able to pick it up. Most people should be able to pick this up within 3 to 4 weeks. I'll just say that. So, Clayton, if we don't stop see, here's the problem with that, Clayton. Clayton says, if we don't stop subsidizing black families, we'll never get out of debt. That assumes that black families are the cause of all debt, and that's... Have you been to Wyoming? Because there's plenty of white families that we're subsidizing as well. We're subsidizing every race. I hate to break it to you again, because this is the problem when you're so focused on race, is that it actually blinds you from the truth of there's a lot of people that suck from a lot of different from every race, and there's a lot of great people from every race. I don't know. So yeah, and that's unfortunately that's very one-sided, and you know, it's unfortunate you can't see the truth for what it is, but it is what it is. Construction companies will abduct you in a white van out of the Burger King drive-thru. You go missing for a couple months, then come back traumatized. I haven't worked for any construction companies like that, fortunately, but I've heard they are out there. Hopefully. No, I don't need that light yet. But Steve, that's very fair. Not even God. Grandmother's religious to be a free thinker. Yeah, when I was 8, a girl told me she was a black belt, and so she could turn into a wolf. I believe she was a black belt, but she just needed some evidence, and she could turn into a wolf. Same for Jesus. Okay, all right. All right, that's fine. That's fine. You believe what you want to believe, man. Let's see. God is a translated word from the 6th century to fit into the English language. Well, yes, the original word, the original Hebrew word was Yahweh, if I'm not mistaken. That was the original word for God. So it's that it was translated. Originally, it was translated from Aramaic. Or maybe it was, I forget if it was ancient Hebrew to Aramaic, then to Latin, and then from Latin into English. I might be mixing, yeah, but it's, yeah. There's gonna be some translation issues, because not every word is going to have the same meaning across different languages. But at the end, you believe what you want to believe, Steve. Let's see here. Writer's Block, Case for Creator or The Case for Christ by Les Stroud. Yep. Steve, math was probably known before spoken languages. Was probably known before spoken. I don't know about that. I don't know where I think our mathematical system came from actually the Muslim world, if I'm not mistaken. I think it came from Arabic. I think it's all based on Arabic, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. You must demonstrate that a God exists first before you posit a God created a universe or inspired a book. So you must demonstrate that a God exists. Well, see, here's the problem with that. That's unfalsifiable answer, or an unfalsifiable question. I can posit the same exact thing. You must demonstrate that there was a Big Bang before it actually happened, or you must demonstrate that something caused the Big Bang before before the Big Bang happened. It's unfalsifiable. We just, at the end of the day, it's just a theory, it's a theory that the Big Bang happened. So at the end of the day, it's still faith. It's just a different version of faith. I hate to break it to you. I would argue you guys have more faith than I do, believing that this all was created by happenstance and just random chance than it was intelligent design. But you guys do you. Let's see here. Have you ever crashed your truck while on the job? No. I did get into a wreck. It was not my fault. Another semi driver actually fell asleep at the wheel behind me, and he actually rear-ended me. So that was fun. That was a couple of years ago. I think that was about 3 years ago at this point. But yeah, I have not crashed it myself, fortunately. Let's see. Clayton, no one has been able to demonstrate a god or gods exist. Writer's block, sorry, just sharing intelligent design resources for those that are interested. Yep, no worries. The Big Bang doesn't say anything about how the universe was created. Well, that's the theory, right? Or at least the theory is that it was created because of the Big Bang. Unless they change that, I don't know. That's maybe I'm not up to date on what they say actually created the universe, but those that don't believe in God, I thought they believed that it was just the Big Bang that created the universe, but I don't keep up with that stuff. Let's see. Sean, hello, sir. Have you heard of the Orthodox Church? Yes, I have. I go to a non-denomination. Well, I work Saturday nights into Sunday morning, so I don't go to church technically, but because my schedule just does not allow for it, unfortunately. But yes, I go to a non-denominational church, or at least my wife and my kids do. I did go to it when I was on day shift, but that's been a while. It's been about a year and a half since I've been able to go to church, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I got to provide, so I'm here working the night shift on the weekends. It is what it is. Let's see here. Tall, hello. Try to read the Quran if you don't refuse in your free time. Yeah, I've actually, and I've been wanting to read also parts of the Quran, as well as the Book of Mormon too, just out of to see from their perspective what they believe, and the same thing with the Quran. But yeah, I'll have to. There's bound to be audiobooks on it, just to know what they believe, and then be able to actually look at it through their perspective. But yeah, it's let's see here. Thunder Loco Yagui, that's Mexican. Yagui, I don't know. That's my Spanish is very rusty. It's about it. I got las cervezas, beer, el baño, the bathroom, no, comer is eat, right? Or hungry. I'm so rusty on my Spanish. I need to pick up more of it. But okay, JSLE. Okay, because the plant is having me learn cylinders first, then training over to micro bulk. So much safety and procedures. Rainy think. Oh, maybe you've meant really thinking of fuel in a year or two. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, again, stick there as long as you can, man. Ideally, at least a year or two, so you don't get the job hopper label on you. But yeah, fuels. You can always come. Actually, you know what? Speaking of cryogenics, there is a Genox guy right in front of me. If I can zoom. Why is this thing not zooming? There we go. That's about all I can zoom. There's a Genox guy, cryo guy. There we go. That's sitting right in front of me. But it is what it is, man. Learn as much as you can and kind of roll with the punches. That'd be my suggestion. There you go. Just for believing in a God makes what is. Just for believing in a God makes for what is complicit as the rest of the retardation of the human intelligence. Okay, I mean, if you want to believe you can't be smart because you believe in a God, that's all right. There's a lot of people of faith, and not just Christians, who are very smart. There's plenty of smart Muslims, plenty of smart Hindus, plenty of smart. What else? It's too late, but there's plenty of other people from other religions that are very smart. So I think that's kind of a broad brush, but you do you, man. Baldwin, I don't understand English. I'm writing from Turkey. You're the best, man. Oh, appreciate it, Baldwin. You have a good night. Oh, that's Mexican slang. Oh, thank you, Thunder Loco. The Pug, it's all in our head. Isn't that a song lyric from the Gorillaz? Yeah. From the Gorillaz. That song, I forget what song that is. Gorillaz. Forget the song name. Yeah. Fred, as far as the Big Bang, there's people working on that. They're trying to find out what caused it so they can find the answer to. We just don't know right now. Yeah. Or is it dang? Or is it dang? Fred, just because someone doesn't know doesn't mean that it doesn't, wait, just because someone doesn't know doesn't automatically mean there's a God. I guess if you're arguing that if they're agnostic about it. Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. Let's see. Writer's block. So what I have learned as a person of faith is to show by my actions I don't actually debate anymore. Yeah, and that's, I mean, I don't think it's more of a discussion. I don't really have debates with people because debating doesn't really help. I would agree with you in large part. It doesn't really help change people's minds. Now you can there is a logical case for it, and I don't have that skill set. But there are people who make a much better logical and rational case for God being in existence than I do, but it's not that this is not that channel. Let's see, Fred, I don't make a claim either way. You're the one making claims that it was created, so prove it. Again, this is not that channel, as I can make the claims that I can, but at the end of the day, like, my biggest claim was look around you. You can look around you and see the variance of which biological, psychological, all the different levels to which there is life, and how diversified it is, and how if the Earth was off tilt by a tenth, I forget if it's a tenth or a half, a minute level of degree, and astrophysicists have confirmed this, and this is not just me talking, but if the Earth was off tilt of what it, because I think it's like 23 and a half degrees or something, I forget. It's been a while since I've been in apologetics, but if the Earth was off the degree off the angle off of which it is currently sitting by not even a full degree, but less than a full degree, we would not be able to exist on this planet. So that was just by chance. I mean, I don't know. As everything around you, as the scriptures say, kind of screams that this was all intelligently designed. But if you want to believe that it was all happenstance, I think just looking around you and seeing the variance at which people, life, the way that we all act in different, we all do act in certain ways similarly. That's human nature, no doubt. But just the variance in which life exists, I think that's proof in itself. But again, not the channel. Let's see. Hopefully that's better lighting. I don't know. But let's see here. Forced to be atheist. Shalom. How's it going? Shalom. Let's see here. Writer's block. The reason that I don't like it is The reason is I don't like being interrogated. Yeah, and I don't take it personally anymore because, again, people are going to believe what they want to believe, right, wrong, or different, you know? And I can make as much of a case as I can to them, but at the end of the day, it's their call if they want to believe or not, you know? I'm not gonna force anyone to believe. That's between them and God, or, you know, nothing if they don't believe God exists, but that's in their own heart, and it is what it is. And it's unfortunate if they don't believe, but at the end of the day, that's the reality of free will, right? We all get to decide of what we do and do not want to believe. So it is what it is. Let's see. It was created for it was created. Yeah, I'm not going to say that because I think I'm going to get doxxed or not doxxed, but let's keep that on the DL because I don't know how YouTube is going to react to that. Let's see here. You like drink? I like water. Occasionally I'll have, I like a hard apple cider, or like, what are they called? Why can I not remember them? Shoot. Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. Angry Orchard. There we go. I like Angry Orchard occasionally. Guinness isn't bad. Not a big beer guy. I prefer whiskey, quite honestly, if I had to pick. But again, I drink maybe 3 times a year, if that. I bought a 5th of Jack Daniels from Costco 7 years ago, and I've only finished like 2/3 of it. So that tells you how much I actually drink. But I've got to create everything and even freedom of choice. Then that wreck was God's fault. You're using the word theory wrong. Learning the English language. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. I said I wasn't up to date on it, but yeah, you take that personally. That's fine. No, you're just wrong. CMB demonstrates an expansion of the universe happened. No one knows how the universe began. The only answer the question is we don't know. Come join my summer radio broadcast on the ATB. Moderators will be hired. I'll pass. I'm not interested in debating people. Let's see. Clayton, do you know the answer? How conveniently the most religions claim that God is a he. Well, because that's what their religious texts describe. They give him a male personhood. They don't say she. So wouldn't the basic assumption be that we're just going off what the religious texts say? Let's see here. You as God. No, I'm not. And nope. Let's see. Then why are you okay with the fact that God doesn't? Then why are you okay with the fact that God doesn't exist? Maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't. Plenty of smart Jews. Yeah, there's plenty of smart. Hold on. Let me go back to your original question. Then why are you okay with? Well, that's again. Okay. So this is unfalsifiable again. So it's like you're making the claim that he. Logic, man. That's fine. Let's see here. Writer's block atheists just want to nitpick with their misinformation just to poke uneducated jabs because they just don't want politics. Hey, I'm fine with the discussions. It's the problem. It's the problem is. And again, I don't do debates, so I'm fine with the religious discussions, but people take it way too personal. And then they make it personal because probably something's nagging on them on the inside. Not that they're ever going to, say that, but out loud anyways. But yeah, I don't get into it anymore, and I haven't for a long time because everybody just takes it personally, and nobody can walk away and just be friends. I have plenty of atheist and agnostic friends. We talk all the time and we get along just swimmingly, but it's because we just don't take our discussions personally. We just we make points, we have discussions about it, but that's it, you know? So I don't make the claim that they're bad because, they're bad or anything like that. And they're like, that's just not how I roll personally, but it is what it is. Let's see. That's good. We should try and stay on the fence till science gives more evidence about God. Gregory, how come no one is talking about pickles? I like pickles. Pickles are good on sandwiches. Roger Brock, atheists need to at least acknowledge that they are unbelievers as opposed to non-believers. There is a lot of they like to they do. John Lennox, mathematician at Oxford, he made this point when I was listening to one of his. He made a podcast with Alex. I forget his name. He's an atheist too. Alex O'Connor. Yeah, that was actually a good discussion. If so, atheists and non-atheists all go listen to that Alex O'Connor and John Lennox discussion, and then also listen to atheists like Richard Dawkins, or So at the end of the day, you gotta certainly listen to both sides of it, But at the end of the day, John Lennox makes a much better case than I could because he's much smarter than I am, So let's see. We are not unbelievers. We are on the fence. Guy that comments, working harder is a scam. You just end up with more work. Thank you. I appreciate that, guy. And let's get back to the original topic here before I call it a day. Holy cow, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. But yeah, at the end of the day, I would argue if you do make more work for yourself, or just work harder instead of investing, because you're not giving yourself that off ramp. At the end of the day, if you don't set money aside, save money, invest money, you are making yourself work harder because you're not giving yourself an off ramp. That is a great point. Thank you. Let me see if I can pin that message. There you go. Message pinned. There we go. Great point, guy that comments. So it's at the end of the day, you just gotta do what works for you. And this got way off the rails into religious talks, which is fine. I haven't done that before, but at the end of the day, this is still trucking, and so do what works for you. But I would recommend, saving something. If you don't want to invest, fine, but save something so that you don't actually have to keep working, because atheists or not, I think, everyone in here can agree that we all don't want to work until we're dead. Can we all agree on that at least? Obviously we got off the discussion on religion, but I think we could all agree that we don't want to work until we die. How about that? Because that was the original discussion. Let's see. JSLE, that Genox truck's exactly the tanker I'll be driving once I'm cleared for solo. Would you say with a year of cryo and work and safe driving, I would be, in the eyes of fuel companies, good to hire? Yeah. And even if you get 6 months in, it doesn't hurt to apply, especially because if you apply and you still don't get the job, they'll still know your name the next time you apply. I didn't get hired here the first time I tried to get hired here, or the first time I applied. I think I applied 3 times. So it doesn't hurt. The worst thing they can say if you apply is no. So might as well shoot your shot. Take my sunglasses off here. Let's see. Working harder hasn't been rewarded since the first Gen Xer was born. To a certain extent, that is true. That is true. At the end of the day, I could work a 6-day, but working a 6-day and pushing my 70-hour clock, that only nets me an extra $400, which is, again, not small amount of money. I'm not saying that's a small amount of money, but after taxes, after my deductions and all that, working 70 hours a week versus 60 hours a week only gets me an extra $400. To me, not worth it. And that's why I don't volunteer. It is what it is if I get called to work for a 6-day, but yeah. Let's say here, very good points, guy that comments, very good points. As we said, we're on the fence. If God could microwave a burrito, is it hot even if he couldn't? Is it hot even he couldn't? You need to word that a little bit better. If God could microwave a burrito, is hot even he couldn't eat it? Yeah, I don't know what you're saying there. We don't believe in God, exists vice versa, blah, 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 blah. We're just waiting for our evidence. Again, you have to understand. Let's see here. Jack Daniels, guy that comments, Jack Daniels is ass. I'm sticking to 8% seltzers. I haven't tried seltzers, honestly. Yeah, I haven't tried seltzers. I think because it's like that bubbly soda water type texture. If it's that, I've never, at least the soda water that I've had, I can't get into it. Just me though. Have you ever been to School Writer? Have you ever been to these School Writers? Let's see here. I will call her back. You should go back to the caves. Guy that comes, used to drink wine, and wine for the most part is under 12.5% alcohol. Yeah. Let's see here. It's kind of out of left field. Temptation happens every second. Yeah, it's Eden Suzanne. It's interesting how some people think they know something simply by reading it in a book. That's what fascinates me. I mean, I never made that claim. At least I don't think I made that claim. Maybe I did. It's been a long stream. I need to get out of here. See here. Actually. Oh, yeah, I got to get out of here. You guys have a good one. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I am going to get into the bay, but you guys take care. Appreciate the comments. Everybody's let me know in the comment section down below if you think we should all live to work versus working to live, because that's my thought at the end of the day. So you guys have a good one. Take care. Let's see.